I would say Braun is a big goofball, though. Like, as serious as he is, he's a big goofball. Like, he just wants to be around his teammates. Like I say, he's one of the best teammates I've been around. Just what he does, his commitment to each and every game, and his commitment to winning championships, there's a reason why people want to play with him.
I could see that. I mean, even having never met him before, but seeing him in Trainwreck, he seemed like a very likable type of guy. Like, not a lot of NBA players do that kind of stuff.
No, you can't take yourself too seriously. I think he's pretty funny. We told him that movie sucked, but it was actually funnier than we give him credit for.
Yeah, he did. I thought he did a pretty good job.
Yeah, he did a good job, but I'm not telling him that.
Welcome on in to Drinks with Binks. I'm Julie Stewart-Binks, and we're rolling along talking about hoops here on the show because if you're a fan of the NBA, you know business is good when the New York Knicks are relevant. But even beyond the Knicks, there have been so many incredible storylines as we look toward the NBA playoffs, and I'm excited today to be able to welcome on a guest who knows exactly what it's like to be in the NBA playoffs, also knows what it's like to be a New York Knick, and also knows what it's like to hoist the illustrious NBA title, and that is none other than Channing Frye. Channing, welcome on into Drinks with Binks. I want to toast to you an incredible career on the court and now off the court as a media savant. So we are sipping on a little tea and coffee. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm great. I've never been called a media savant before. I've been called some names, but just never savant.
Well, you're working your way up the world at TNT, NBA TV. You know, you have your road tripping podcast. You've got your fingers in all these different media pies. How's it been going?
It's been fun, busy, but fun. I think for me, after I retired from basketball, I just, wanted to stay close to it. And, they have the opportunity to work at Turner. They give me some different platforms. And then just being able to have a podcast is fun. We've been doing that with Rich and Allie for, I think, 6 years now, 5-6 years. So
wow.
Just talking hoops. There's so many storylines. It's endless. It's endless amount of storylines each year, and every year is different. Okay,
so one of those storylines, we got to talk to you about the New York Knicks. You mentioned that they are really just in a great spot right now. They've I guess exceeded expectations for this season in particular. When you look at them, is this squad for real?
So right now, the Knicks are very relevant, and they are very for real. I think the biggest thing in the NBA, to have success, you have to have culture. And you have to have good communication between your star player, your coach, and your upper management. And I think they have that. I think they built a team around Tibbs that's hungry. And honestly, I think the team represents New York style of people. And at the end of the day, they play defense. Nobody in this league right now plays defense, but they do on a nightly basis, and it gives them a chance. They're not the greatest scorers, but they work their butt off on defense, and it's interesting to watch them. And I'm pretty amazed at how they just break teams down night in and night out.
Right. And from your vantage point, having been someone that was drafted by the Knicks, you played there, you're born in White Plains, you know what the fandom is like. You know what it's like in New York City when this team is good and when this team is not good. What's it like seeing them at this point right now?
You know what? I feel bad. I think it's good. Put it this way. I think it's good that this young team didn't have fans at the beginning. But now I can't wait for Madison Square Garden to be packed for them. I think they deserve it. There's a nice mix of young guys and vets. I think they need to experience that. I think they need to see, they're starting to see some people in there. I think I saw Chris Rock and some other, super uber famous people, some A-listers there, but I want them to feel the vibe, to feel like what Madison Square Garden's when it's rocking. I want to see them in the playoffs. Hopefully they get to pack it out a little bit. And man, when the Knicks are good, it's good for the NBA. And the style of play that the Knicks play I think is going to translate to the playoffs pretty well.
Yeah, what was it like in the Garden when you were there playing?
Woo! I don't know, dumpster fire some nights, and other nights really nice. I mean, to be honest, we're just, and I still talk to Zeke to this day, and we understood what he was trying to do as the GM and putting our team together. It just didn't mesh. When we had Larry Brown my rookie year, we won some games, but then it was just so much turnover. I think we had the most starting lineups in the history of basketball, which is a crazy number. Just guys weren't on the same page about what it took to win. And then when Zeke took over, it was just the communication wasn't there between him and, the star players and what was expected. And so for me, we've had some really fun games there. We've had some games where Kobe came in and just gave us, I think, 63. And we were all like, thank God it wasn't 81. So, but regardless, every night in the Garden is a show. And, to be able to play there and say I was a Knick is pretty big for me in my book.
Yeah, well, I'm a Toronto Raptors fan, so I know what the 81 feels like. I also know what a championship feels like, just like you. And you won one with LeBron James. What's something that would surprise us about LeBron?
I don't know, man. What's crazy now that I'm on this side is like he's such an open book. It's I don't know if we've ever been that accessible to a mega superstar like that, right? You know what he thinks. He's not afraid of being political. He shows you his whole family. There's not a lot of privacy there. I would say Braun is a big goofball, though. Like, he, as serious as he is, he's a big goofball. Like, he just wants to be around his teammates. Like I say, he's one of the best teammates I've been around. Just what he does, his commitment to each and every game, and his commitment to winning championships, there's a reason why people want to play with him.
I could see that. I mean, even having never met him before, but seeing him in Trainwreck, he seemed like a very likable type of guy. Like, not a lot of NBA players do that kind of stuff.
No, you can't take yourself too seriously. I think he's pretty funny. We told him that movie sucked, but it was actually funnier than we give him credit for.
Yeah, he did. I thought he did a pretty good job.
Yeah, he did a good job, but I'm not telling him that.
Yeah, no, I can't let it go to his head. He already has enough. Has enough praise up there.
Too much.
Now, he said, you mentioned this just a couple minutes ago, but the idea that, the NBA is better when the Knicks are winning. That's something that LeBron said. What do you think it would have been like had LeBron chosen New York over LA?
Man, I don't even know. It would have been pandemonium. I think, the Knicks are are a powerhouse, right? Regardless of how bad they are. You just go. The Garden is electric. It is literally the greatest place to play, and people always show out. You're going to get the best, right? Somebody's coming in there with their best. You have a good game in Madison Square Garden, and you could move up some steps, right? And I think each player, each star, each all-star has had a big game in the Garden because it means that much to them, right? You get up for those games.
What do you think of LeBron's criticism of the play-in tournament?
I think, you know what? I think I think especially this year, a lot of guys don't like it. 72 games is a long time. And then to add 2 games on top of that is kind of poopy, right? But for me, it's just like, sometimes it's not about your feelings. It's about, I've been on a team that's won 48 games and we didn't make the playoffs. I would have loved to have a chance to play 2 games to make it. Right, against the teams that were above us. Mm-hmm. But I could see where a lot of the guys like Luka or LeBron are not fans of it because they're exhausted. It's been a crazy schedule this year. And now you look at the Lakers and Dennis Schroeder is not playing for 10 to 14 days. So they're like, man, we're like, one of those 2 games, if someone gets hurt, their championship is over. So they'd rather just be the 7th seed and play the 2 seed, Utah, and be over with. I don't think they're afraid to play anybody on the road. And I know LeBron, and he doesn't care if he's 1 through 8. At the end of the day, you got to win a game on the road to win a series anyways.
Right. Yeah, it is a very interesting situation. As you mentioned, if you're a team trying to claw your way in, this is a great opportunity. But if you're a championship team trying to hang on, it could really sort of spell the end of everything for you. Sure. We have a whole lot more we want to get to with Channing Frye here on the program, including what he's doing now that also includes some wine. You have to stay tuned to find out more on Drinks with Binks. Don't go anywhere. Hey guys, welcome back to Drinks with Binks. I'm JSB, and we are sipping on some tea and coffee with former NBA champion Channing Frye. And we have known that your career has gone all over. You've accomplished so much. If you could pick one team, one season to go back to, I feel like I felt like I was Eminem being like, if you had one chance, one opportunity, where would you go back to in your life and relive over again?
I would probably say 2010. I was playing for the Phoenix Suns, and we went to Western Conference Finals, and we lost to the Lakers. And I feel like if I know what I know now, I would have appreciated it even more. But I was young. I think it was my 5th year in the league, and I was just like, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed. But the fact that we beat the Trailblazers, we swept the Spurs, and then we ended up losing to Lakers, I don't know if I would have changed anything, but I think I would have taken more pictures and kind of just relished the moment, right? I was really young, and it's tough. I've only been to the conference finals 3 times in my career. Once with the Suns and twice with the Cavs. So, dude, it's hard to win. It's hard to win, and that commitment is an everyday thing to get there. And even then, sometimes just got bad luck. So,
yeah. Well, I'm surprised you didn't say your championship season.
Well, that season is perfect. So we're going to keep that one. I'm not going to go back and mess that up.
Yeah, I don't want it's like Back to the Future. You don't want to like go back and mess something up.
We're going to leave that one alone. Yeah. We're going to leave that one alone.
Well, since you've retired, we mentioned that you have been working on a number of different projects, and you've gotten the opportunity to work alongside some of the greats on Inside the NBA with Shaq and Charles Barkley. What's sort of like a pre-show meeting like with some of those big personalities?
So I'm around there a lot. It's all in the same studio, NBA TV and TNT inside the NBA. And so those guys are just joking around the whole time, arguing. So we stay at the same hotel. I do NBA TV. They do their thing. So I see them actually a lot. And Shaq, obviously we played against each other. Charles played for Phoenix, where I lived in Phoenix. And I've seen Kenny and Ernie a lot. So it's just jokes. And then somebody has an opinion. And then immediately you get like 3 other opinions. And then it just turns into an argument. And that goes on to TV. So how they are on TV is how they are in the back. And so it's fun. And being able to sit at that table was pretty amazing. It was a pretty big honor for me. And, eventually that'll be an awesome job, right? But you never know what might happen. So until then, you just got to keep watching hoops and being you.
Yeah, keep working hard. And it is great. Their personalities are something in the show that I think a lot of other sports and shows are trying to emulate now, right? Because it brings in the casual viewer. It brings in people that are, just attracted to hearing people talk about sports in that way, where it's not just sort of X's and O's, but it also is infused with a little bit of jokes along the way.
Totally.
Yeah. Yeah, and so you have the TV side of your career, but you also have, as we mentioned, your wine label. It seems as though a lot of NBA guys are getting into the wine industry. What drew you to being able to want to do this, and why do you think it's become such a big thing with the hoops players?
I think wine, first of all, is just in general as a cerebral drink, right? It's something that you can look at the label, you can understand the year, the region, the terroir, the winemaker. Like, I think basketball players are always pushing themselves in directions that are businessmen like. I think, back in the day, guys were drinking, hard liquor, right? And beer. And then nowadays, we're so accessible. What I've noticed is when guys go talk to people from Silicon Valley, or when they go do business deals, they're sitting with Fortune 500 guys who are ordering, Rutan Rothschilds, or they're ordering Opus Ones. And so guys start to watch and learn. And all of a sudden, when they would go around their teammates, they would bring their own suitcases full of wine. And for my journey, it was just like, I live in Oregon, I'm around wine country, and I've never had a bad time wine tasting. It's impossible. And so I had the opportunity to start my business, Chosen Family. And I've just been a fan of different winemakers. And so what we do is we find really good winemakers, and we create our own little collaboration. So we've come out with 4 wines so far, 1 rosé, 2 pinots, and a Chardonnay.
Nice.
And we have, I think, 4 or 5 more coming out this year. We have a Walla Walla Syrah coming out, which is delicious. We have another rosé, a Chardonnay rosé. We have a Sonoma Coast Pinot Noir coming out. So we have a lot of things. So it's been a lot of fun to learn and to grow in this industry and to, I think there's only 70 Black-owned wineries in America, in the world, I think, in America. So for me and CJ McCollum to be 2 in Oregon is pretty amazing, especially being under 40. So just, that part of the business is also pretty awesome. Just trying to bring some color to it and bring a different perspective, but also be humble and be a fan. So, bringing out a wine label in COVID times is tough, and so we're adjusting. Yeah. So we're 100% e-commerce brand. So we don't have a tasting room. We don't have a specific vineyard, but we're in the process of getting all these things. It's kind of pointless to do it now if people can't even gather indoors in Oregon. So, we're just holding that in our pocket.
I mean, it's got to feel great for you to be able to get the whole family involved, COVID aside, getting into a new business and something completely different from hoops that you're able to sort of really put your own mark on.
For sure. I think for me, wine is a connector. I think, I value people's time and, we're all busy, but being able to sit and share a meal with someone, I feel like wine is very selfless, right? When you go to a store and you're going over to someone's house, my thing is like, okay, what are they going to like, right? I don't think about what I like. I think, what are they going to love, right? What story? Do I know this person? Like, do I know this producer? Like, what's their story? And how can I share that with them? How can we talk about it? I also feel like wine is not divisive. Like, I could love a wine and you could hate it, but we're both right? And at the end of the day, those type of conversations are the ones that I really have fallen in love with. I love a good argument, but, being divisive and being like, my way is the right way is not really my jam. I'm always trying to become a better person. I think I've had some really great conversations over some amazing bottles of wine, just different people's perspective and stuff that's going on within their world.
Definitely. And that's Chosen Family Wines. We have a whole lot more to come with Channing Frye on the other side, including maybe we might play a game of nickname generator. You'll have to see what we're talking about when we return after this. Hey guys, welcome back to Drinks with Binks. I'm JSB. I'm so thrilled to be joined by Channing Frye, former NBA champion. We're sipping on a little tea and coffee, and I could get into some lyrics from a song that I love that includes both of these, but I won't, just so that we don't lose all our money on Fubo. But we are going to play an amazing game of Nickname Generator. And the reason why we're playing this is because Channing recently explained that his nickname now you've chosen is Buffet of Goodness, which at first I thought was like, well, isn't that just what a buffet is? Good. And then I realized, no, I've been to many bad buffets. So Buffet of Goodness is correct in that you have just a little, little bits of everything here and there. And I think that's it's a great nickname. So we wanted to have you help us recreate and come up with some new and improved, maybe suggestions for nicknames of guys in the NBA who already have nicknames, but I think maybe we could help them out. You ready?
Got it. Yep.
All right, let's go. First up, LeBron's known as the King or Bron, but what could be his new and improved nickname?
I would say that, like, the Godfather, probably. That guy watches that movie. He reads the book. He's obsessed with it. So I'd probably say the Godfather.
I like that. And he just has that vibe, right? Of just kind of
big
owning and controlling everything.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, the Godfather. Yeah. Next up, Luka Dončić is known as El Matador, Cool Hand Luka. What nickname would you give him?
My co-host on some of the game thing called him Luka the Don.
Luka the Don.
Yeah, Luka the Don, man. He's out there wheeling and dealing every game. He's doing it by himself. He's just like, again, he's just Again, the mob theme, mob boss, mob theme.
Yeah, we're just saying, Godfather theme.
He's not Italian, but he talks with his hands a lot.
The NBA is just like the Godfather. Okay, I'm getting the hint of this. In hockey, nicknames aren't as exciting. It's usually just your last name with Y. Like, if your last name was Stewart, it would be Stewie. So these are way more interesting. Okay, next up we have Nikola Jokić, the Joker, Big Honey, Cookie Monster, Yoke. What nickname would you give him?
The Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. He looks squishy, but he's destroying cities.
Boom! That is awesome. I feel like you had that one just ready to rock. You've been thinking about it for a while.
Sometimes it's just a genius. No. If you look at how athletic the league is, and he dominates, and he's athletic. He's more athletic than people give him credit for, even myself. But he's just been dominating the league this year. He's just so smart. So like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, looks squishy, but he's like really, really dangerous.
Do you think he should win MVP?
But easily, yes. And he hasn't missed a game yet. And it's just like what he's doing. I don't know if another big man will be able to do that other than him. Like if you watch him play, you're going to learn basketball. It's pretty awesome.
Okay. Well, on that note, I think I'm going to watch him play. And I'm going to learn some basketball. And I've learned a lot from you here on this edition of Nickname Generator with Channing Frye. It has been a pleasure. We came up with 1 million nicknames, so we got to trademark those. And we have a whole lot more on Drinks with Binks. Don't go anywhere. We've got Channing Frye, former NBA champion, on the other side. Stick with us. Subscribe to the Fubo Sports YouTube page for clips and full episodes. Follow us at Fubo Sports on all social media channels. Also available in podcast form wherever you find your favorite pods. Well, guys, we've had an awesome time drinking and binking here with former NBA champion Channing Frye. And Channing, where can we find you next?
You know what? I'm a little bit everywhere. So once a week, I'm on NBC Northwest talking Blazers. And then once a week, I have another podcast, Road Tripping. Those are on all your platforms, Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, all that. And then I'm on random days on NBA TV. I think I go on tomorrow night, right? And then I go on Friday. But yeah, and then other than that, like for the wine, for Chosen Family, there's only one place you can get it. And that's online at chosenfamilywines.com. You can follow that on Instagram. Write us an email at cheers@chosenfamilywines.com. But yeah, that's about it, man. Other than that, Channing Frye, on Instagram and Twitter.
Awesome.
I'm there getting in arguments all the time.
Getting in arguments and creating some awesome content. And before you go, very quickly, who are we going to see in the NBA Finals this year?
I got to say Nets and Lakers. It's just that's the easy pick, but
okay.
I just think the Lakers are going to be able to turn it on in the playoffs and just kind of cruising through the regular season now.
So LeBron should not have to worry about these bullshit play-in games. It's below him.
He will be fine.
He's the Godfather.
The Godfather, for sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much, Channing, for your time here on the show today. We will be locked and loaded into all of your content and beyond. And guys, you know where you can find us on Instagram, Twitter, and of course, all of our episodes on YouTube at Fubo Sports. Make sure you watch those. And until next time, bottoms up, bitches.